Hello everyone, my name is MJ Vilches and welcome to part 1 of creating a keyframe droid in Blender. So yeah, what is a keyframe droid, you may ask? And yeah, keyframe droid is something that I actually just came up myself because I'm trying to come up with ways on how to share to you my journey in animating shots for episode 1 of the Underland project, and I'm doing that through the Journey to Awesomeness videos in my main channel. So yeah, I decided that at sequence 5 of my journey through the production caverns, I'll be facing some robot, since I already created this, me wielding a lightsaber. Yep, the sequences from 5 probably up to 8 will be based on a Star Wars kind of thing, but I'm gonna be adding a lot of other stuff that I love as I go through each sequences of episode 1 of the Underland project. So yeah, the keyframe droid is actually based on the keyframe, like in animation. Since I'm animating, I'm kind of visualizing animation as something that it's a challenge that I need to like take on in the production caverns, and I decided that the keyframes will become like a droid in Star Wars and I need to fight them using the lightsaber. So yeah, that's gonna be what's happening for the next doodle log. And yeah, right now we're gonna be modeling a keyframe droid, and I don't really have a drawn plan like on paper, because all the plans that I have for these modeling session is just going to be in my head. And that's kind of what I'm doing for any Journey to Awesomeness elements, Journey to Awesomeness assets, or animations and stuff. I'm actually just like basing it in the idea of a doodle. So yeah, in doodling, you're not really planning stuff or anything. You kind of just draw stuff on your notebook or anywhere and just draw a character or whatever it is you want to draw. So yeah, that's kind of what the idea is in my doodle logs and Journey to Awesomeness videos. I'm just gonna be doodling some ideas or some characters as I work on it, as I go through, my journey in the Underland project, and then I visualize it through animations. So I'm just gonna give a disclaimer before starting. This is not a tutorial. This is a workflow video that I will be sharing to you guys in the hopes that you will get something from it. And also, I'd be able to talk to you about my plans for Journey to Awesomeness in all of Doodle Notes productions. So yeah, without further ado, let's just start modeling. So yeah, for the keyframe droid, it's actually based on keyframes in animation. I'm planning to create droids for keyframe, extremes, and breakdowns. So I'm gonna start with the keyframe. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to append a proxy of my CG self so that I can model it to scale, so that I don't have to adjust later on. I don't have to rescale it when animating later on. So I'm gonna grab my the proxy that I made for my CG self here. There, MJ proxy. I'm right there. That's just a proxy of my size, just so I have a size comparison, and I'd know how big or small I'd model our keyframe droid here. So I want the keyframe droid actually to be kind of like not too big, actually, just probably about up to my waist here. And yeah, also since I want to save time in animating this stuff, I'm probably not gonna make the keyframe droid too complicated to animate. So yeah, you'll just see that later on. So in order to do this, I'm gonna try to make a diamond shape here with our cube. So yeah, we don't need to delete the cube. I'm just gonna be using it. I'm gonna add a edge loop right here. No, actually, I'm gonna add 2 edge loop right there, and then scale it down to the z-axis. And then I'm gonna turn on X-ray here and bump it up to 1, and I'm gonna select the top vertices here. I'm gonna Alt M. I'm gonna merge it to the center. I'm gonna do the same thing at the bottom. Alt M, merge it on the center. And now we have our keyframe, and that's basically what the basic shape of our keyframe droid. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna move my proxy here for a while. So that's gonna be how big the keyframe droid is. And it's not gonna have legs, because the legs, I'm planning to put the legs on the extreme droids, which is actually gonna be called EXT-RM. Kind of like a Star Wars thing, like with the AT-ATs and the R2-D2. The extreme droids are gonna be EXT-RM, which extremes. But for the keyframe droid, we're just gonna call it keyframe droid. So I'm just gonna scale it down, and then And then from this, we are gonna add stuff that would make it look like a droid. So I want it to shoot lasers. I'm gonna make it so that the eyes are like right here in the middle with the Keyframe Droid. So I'm just gonna E that as Z. And I'm gonna extrude again as Shift Z. And I'm gonna add like a red light here that would like serve as its eyes. And then the laser, the gun, or you know, just the thing that shoots lasers will be right in the middle here. It's gonna be like a hovering droid with rockets attached down here. So this is not gonna be a very complicated model, by the way. I'm not even gonna use subdivision surface probably, but we'll see what we can do here. So I think I'm gonna add first. Maybe I have to use subdivision surface. Okay, I'm gonna try doing a subdivision surface here. It does that, which is fine for now. Let's keep going. I could go with simple, but nah. I'm gonna just try to bring back the shape here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna V this Z, and then I'm gonna connect them again. So this is the challenge right here. I don't want to make it too high poly, but sometimes you get carried away. So I'm gonna nope, not that. I'm gonna double tap G here, just bring it up right there. I want to be able to bring back the angles here. I'm gonna do the same thing at the bottom here, or V. Just gonna move that on the Z axis a little, and then close it up. And turn off X-rays, so it's not that confusing. I'm just gonna close that up right there, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm just gonna bring that down, and then now I'm going to try to bring back the angle on the sides there. So I'm gonna add an edge loop here, like that. I'm going to try and add something like this. Maybe it'll work. Actually, yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna select and turn on X-ray first, and select everything right here, including the ones right there. And do this. I'm gonna delete those vertices, and I'm gonna add mirror. Put it right at the top. And now I'm gonna close this open gaps right here and right there. So yeah, like I said, I'm not an expert in modeling, but I do have some experience, and I'm just kind of bringing out like a thing in my head here. I'm not really following like a concept or anything, just doing something that's in my mind. I'm gonna try adding a bevel here. I'm just gonna get rid of this, the top. We're gonna close that later. I'm also gonna do the same at the bottom here. And then I'm gonna bevel. Let's see how it looks. Control E, bevel edges, or you can just press Control B. I'm just gonna do that to bring out our options here. And then probably 0.002. Yeah, I think 0.002 is enough. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Control E or Control B, bevel edges. And then 0.002. I'm gonna try adding another one right here just to remove the arcs there, make the edges sharp, and double tap G to edge slide. And I'm also gonna do the same thing down here, and then, excuse me, I'm gonna add another one and just drag it right there. Do the same thing right here. Wait, how about I do this? I'm gonna Control R. I'm gonna add another one right here, just so they are even when I'm gonna do an edge slide. Same thing right here, R2. R2D2. R2, nope. Actually, to make it mirror properly, even on the Y-axis, we can delete the vertices behind right there. Or probably not, because we didn't add a middle one. Now we can do it. And delete all of that. And I'm gonna check Y here to bring it back, and then I'm gonna just do this and drag another edge loop right there, and that should bring back the angle of our keyframe. And now I can either apply, I'm gonna apply our mirror, or no, you can't apply it if you're in edit mode. Wait, but before applying it, I'm just gonna check whether I like what's happening here or not. I'm gonna add another edge loop right there, also right here, and then another one right there and right here. Or maybe I can get rid of this. No, this one first, edge loop X, and then edge loop X, edge loop, and Control R, add 3. And do the same thing here, X, edge loop, and Alt Shift select an edge loop, and then I'm just gonna delete that. And of course, this is important, saving. Need to save it now. So yeah, I'm gonna add 3 edge loops here as well. No, don't turn on magnet. Shift tab to turn off the turn on the snapping, and then Shift tab to turn it off again. So yeah, I think this is looking great. We've brought back this right here. Probably gonna keep pushing it in there just so it's really looking nice. I'm also going to add 2 edge loops right here as Z to bring it back some, and also right here 2 as Z, and that should do that. I'm gonna also add another one right here and right here, and I think I'm gonna settle with that for now. Okay, I'm gonna add 2 more right here as Z, and then I'm gonna apply this. Apply the mirror. Tell you what, I'm gonna save a backup first, just in case we don't want to apply. We want to go back to the mirror, not apply it yet. So I'm just gonna save droid keyframe underscore backup 001. These are all the backups I've done from previous models of Journey to Awesomeness stuff. So I'm just gonna overwrite the already droid keyframe backup that I made. I'm gonna go back to the original Blender file. You gotta make sure to do that before starting modeling again, because you're gonna end up modeling on the backup and not on the actual Blender file. So yeah, I'm gonna apply it now since we have a backup. And keyframe droid's looking great. So I'm just gonna select the 2 edge loops that we added here. I'm gonna E S Shift Z just to bring another layer there. And I think that would look great, especially when it's shaded and then it's color red, and then you add bloom on Eevee. Oh, that's gonna look great. Also gonna add 2 just to make it not too arced there, make it more angular. So yeah, next I am going to close this guys right up here. Probably just close it, wait, let's period that there. Close it like this, and then I'm gonna extrude it downwards, extrude it inwards again, just a little bit, and then extrude another one right there. And I'm probably gonna add like an antenna or something here. Let's try that. So yeah, this is, I think, what doodling is in Blender. I'm just kind of coming up with ideas on what to add as I do this, say, model. So nothing is really planned, and I'm kind of just, sticking with the stuff as it comes out in my head, which probably gonna give us either an interesting result or something that is ugly. Hopefully an interesting result. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna adjust our I'm gonna tab, I'm gonna add our view here. I'm gonna adjust the clip start of our view here so it doesn't clip the model when we're zooming in. Set that to 0.0001. I'm just gonna add that little antenna. Let's close this up here like that, and then Alt M center. So yeah, that's looking great. I'm also gonna add an edge loop right at the top there. So yeah, I'm slowly making our model not too low poly anymore, because when you're carried away with modeling, that that tends to happen. But I'm gonna try not adding too much. I think as it is now, my laptop can still handle it, because as you can see, it's not really lagging. So I'm just gonna put the median point to put the pivot point on our 3D cursor here. Shift Z, I'm gonna S Shift Z just to make that fatter. So the antenna is too small, and I guess that's enough. For the bottom part here, I'm not gonna do something like that. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, I gotta get the pivot point back to median point. E S E S again, and E. Alt M, add center. And I'm gonna add an edge loop right here. So we've closed the top right there, added a little antenna. We're gonna be doing some changes here and there as we model this thing. Let's Control plus this middle part right here. As I'm gonna try scaling it. Let's do this. I'm gonna turn on the proportional editing and then select sharp and then just try and I'm gonna try doing this. I'm gonna just select the middle part and just scale. S Shift Z actually. I don't want it to. I just wanna make it kind of thinner, like that. I guess it would add variety to our keyframe droid if it's not too straight. It's kind of curved right now, which is fine. I love it. I love the effect of it. So now we're gonna add where it's going to shoot the lasers, which is going to be in front right here. You can only shoot one laser at a time. Just gonna delete. Oh wait, before deleting that, I'm gonna turn off X-ray for now so we can see right here. I'm gonna Shift S. I'm gonna cursor to selected, and then I'm gonna delete it. And then I'm going to add a circle and make the vertices only 8. That should make it easy for us to attach it back right there. So we have 8 vertices right here. I'm gonna RX90 and scale it right down, right? Oh, probably a bad idea to scale it like that because we still have proportional editing on. I'm gonna turn that off. RX90, scale it again, and then I'm just gonna bring it out a bit, and then I'm gonna Shift D, move it to the y-axis, scale it like that, and then I'm gonna extrude a little bit like that in the y-axis, and then I'm gonna try and find a way to connect this back. So first thing I'm gonna do, I guess, is I'm gonna turn on X-ray, Shift, I'm gonna select our vertex down here again, and also these guys right here. I'm going to extrude. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna extrude this. Wireframe is a bad idea. So I'm gonna extrude this guys inwards. I'm gonna turn on X-ray again so I can see it. E, Y, and then to straighten that up, I want it to be aligned with this right here. So I'm gonna Shift S cursor to selected. I'm gonna change the pivot point to 3D cursor, and I'm gonna select the ones that we extruded right here. I'm gonna unselect that. I'm gonna just look at it in the wireframe view so you can see it. I'm gonna S, Y, 0, and that would straighten what we extruded here to the y-axis. I mean, straighten it up, aligned perfectly with the top part right here. So to finish it up, I'm just gonna add. I'm gonna close some gaps, and then we should have a nice space there for the laser shooter. I'm gonna delete this. I might not need this. I'm gonna delete that. I'm just gonna close this with a face. Select the vertices here and the F to close it. And I'm gonna select this guys right here. Shift S, cursor to selected, and I'm gonna extrude. Oh, what did I press? I'm gonna extrude. Shift S, selection to cursor, so that it's perfectly in the middle there. So yeah, now we can close our gaps here. Select the vertices, F. It's easier with the edge, so we'll do that. I'm gonna close this, select the edges right here, F to close it. I'm gonna select this edge and that edge to close this one, this edge, that edge, close that one. And now we have like a little compartment there, which we'll try to angulate, which we'll try to make angular. So now we have to figure out how we are going to fix this part right here to make it look cool. One of the things that I can't think of, so I'm gonna select that, Control plus numpad, select these vertices right here. I'm gonna extrude all of that. I'm gonna bring back the pivot point and median point, and I'm just gonna scale it down right there. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and figure out how to do this. Tell you what, let's waste the stuff that we've done, because you now know how to like add something like that on your models, but it didn't help for our model here, so I deleted it. And I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm gonna extrude E, Y. I'm gonna make that smaller, and then I'm gonna duplicate this. Shift D, Y, and then I'm gonna rotate it like so. Scale it a bit probably. I'm gonna put it right here. Just try to manually align this with there, and then I'm gonna delete this, and then I'm gonna start connecting, and let's see what we get. Tell you what, I'm gonna keep scaling. Also this one, I'm gonna scale it like so. Yeah, I think that looks great. Then we're gonna connect the gaps here. Just connect that. I'm gonna hide this for now so that it doesn't obstruct our view here. So I'm just gonna close the gaps here so that we have a circular opening right in the middle of our keyframe, in the middle of the face of the keyframe droid there. So I'm just gonna close it like this and fix the topology later. So now we have like now we have this right here. Tell you what, I'm gonna add an edge loop around here and do something like this. Move it to the edges. And if you're gonna make the subdivision surface, you're gonna add some more subdivision surface, it's gonna look nice. Look at that. See? Looks nice. I think I'm gonna stick with that. And I'm going to turn on proportional editing, bring it back to smooth, and only affect the connected ones. And just scale it some. And let's check how it looks. In subdivision level 2, it looks nice. So I'm satisfied. And then I'm gonna add another one, extrude that S, scale it down, and then I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna try and close it slowly. And close it like this for now. Alt M, add center, and we have it closed. Now I'm gonna drag it inside, turn on proportional editing, or make our proportional fall off the sphere so that when I drag it, it forms a sphere right there. We have that right there. I'm going to add a little bit of angle on the outer rim of our opening here. Bring it in a bit. That should give us a nice looking. I'm gonna add another edge loop right here. That should look great. Look at this. We now have an opening, and now we can model the rest of our laser gun area. So I'm gonna go tab to edit mode, Alt H to unhide this guy right here. Actually, for this part, I'm gonna Shift S, cursor to selected, and I'm gonna delete this because I want to add a sphere, UV sphere. Then I'm gonna set that to 12, the segments to 12, and then rings to 8. And then I'm gonna rotate this on the x-axis, or R. Just rotate it right on our view here. R90, rotate it like that. I'm gonna scale it down so it fits our gun part here. I'm gonna unselect this part so that it won't be included when we delete it. Now we have this. So I'm just gonna bring it down some, scale it until we get that. So this is probably gonna be rotating like this so that it can change its, where it fires. I'm gonna be adding a rig for that later. And I'm probably gonna be giving this model away for free. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, just extruding this part right here, creating a very basic, very not so awesome, or maybe it is awesome, I don't know. Depends on your perspective. I think it is. So yeah, this is one of those like droids that would confuse you. You would think that this is his eyes, but that's actually just where he shoots, and his eyes will be right here. So how do we make this laser part? Probably like a camera lens, or I'm just gonna keep going here until we get something. Do that, do this, and do this right there. I'm gonna start creating like kind of concave something here, which is like a laser point. When you look at the laser point, it's concave so that I guess it like focuses the laser into one point. That's kind of what I have in mind. I'm not really a scientific geek or something, but it is useful for you know, when creating models and stuff. But since we're just doodling a model, a character here, or a thing, which will also still have its own character actually. Let me just Control V Control V, merge vertices, Alt M, and by distance. Oh yeah, look at that, there are 112 vertices that actually are overlapping each other. I just have to make sure that I did not end up merging the ones that are important. How about here? So nothing is looking weird in our model, so I think I've merged the right duplicates of vertices. So I'm just gonna continue the, was it concaved, or what was the other one again? I'm just having a mental block. I can't think while modeling and talking at the same time. It's difficult. You try it when you don't really talk that much. At least this way I'm practicing to speak while modeling. But yeah, it's difficult to like talk and then model and then explain and then think about some sciencey stuff. I'm not a genius or something. Anyways, we have our laser. That will be a gloom or maybe a glass here. If it doesn't shoot any lasers, it's just gonna be a black part right here. But once it's powering up, it will turn into red and then shoot lasers. So now we have our laser part. We are going to continue to our to the other parts. So yeah, actually before adding anything else, I just want to add more details on the faces here, and I'm probably gonna make our model not too high poly. I'm gonna reduce some edge loops where I can. I'm gonna delete that. I don't need this here at the top. I'm gonna delete edge loop. And I'm not sure about this antenna as well. I don't think it's a nice addition to our droid there. It looks weird at the top there. It doesn't seem to serve any purpose, so I'm going to have to. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get rid of this vertices, and then I'm just gonna Alt M, center, and just like that. And also, I think it looks nice right like this already. I just need to add some details on the faces there. So what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna select half of this, and then vertex. Make sure that everyone on the other half is gone, because we're gonna be applying a mirror again, and then see what happens. So I'm gonna add a mirror, and then I'm gonna get that vertex right there. I'm gonna set the pivot point and median point again, scale it, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then I'm gonna extrude this inwards, GX, and then I'm gonna add a circle there. Make sure that that's only 8 vertices. Reduce the radius right here. Probably about 0.08 will do. And then I'm just gonna rotate it like so. Let's try going to the front view here. Put it right in there. And then I'm gonna connect. I'm gonna close the gaps here. F, not G. Close the gaps one by one. And then I'm just gonna do that and do this. Alt M, add center. Just so we have this thing going on here. So we have that there as well. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this kind of like design or something here. For the back part, okay, I'm going to have to put the mirror above the subdivision surface modifier to, you know, to remove this awful effect here. So like that, I'm gonna make sure that clipping is on or checked, and then probably gonna get rid of this guys right here, edge loops. Let's see if nothing. Okay, everything's fine down there still. I'm gonna add one, just one. I'm gonna shift S. I tabbed out into object mode, shift S, cursor to selected so that the cursor is on the middle of our object there. I'm gonna change the pivot point to 3D cursor again, S, shift Z to just scale it outwards. And I'm gonna bring back our viewport subdivision level to 1 so it doesn't lag on us. Maybe this will look nice. I'm gonna go back to vertex mode. I'm gonna go side on the left, right orthographic view, and just go up like that, and then move this GX. I'm gonna try this GZ. Gonna GZ again. Okay, that looks nice. I'm gonna do the same thing here. A 1. Probably bring it down using Z. I'm gonna go to the right orthographic view, bring it up to the front using Y. So I guess that looks nice. So yeah, for the back part, I'm going to probably do this. I'm gonna do this again, vertices, and then gonna check Y. And I'm gonna apply the mirror modifier and remove the lasers at the back here, because that's not supposed to happen. And then I'm gonna delete some of the vertex here and then just close this like so. Alt M at center. So now we have that detail there. Yeah, we do have a broken part at the bottom here. That's not good. This happened because of the merging that we did before, the merge by distance, which I think I can fix by doing this, by selecting that whole part right there at the bottom and delete it, turn on X-ray, and then also at the top here, because there's also a pole here. Pretty sure that there is also a pole up here. So yeah, we're just gonna fix the problems that have arisen. And then I'm gonna try removing the edge loops right here. I'm going to do the mirror thing again so we don't have to deal with a lot of vertices here. Vertices. Mirror. I'm gonna put that at the top before subdivision surface. And then I'm gonna get rid of this guys right here, edge loops. This one as well, edge loop. Also on the other side right here, and this one as well. It looks nice. I'm sticking with that. I'm gonna apply the mirror modifier again so we can easily do this. Just gonna scale that down there and manually bring it back. S, and then extrude Z axis so that it goes inwards. Draw on there. I'm gonna turn off X-ray so you can see it, and then scale it once inwards. Wait, not like that. Okay, scale it once like that, and then just merge this. Alt M at center. Now I need to do it up here as well. I'm gonna extrude it to Z axis. I'm gonna SZ0 to like line it up to make this straight right here, and I'm gonna scale it down just to roughly bring back our keyframe shape. So yeah, that fixed that problem, or not, because now that's not straight. In order to fix that, I'm just gonna select this vertices right here. I'm gonna SY0, move it at the front a bit. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. SY0, move it at the back a bit, and now we can close this. Extrude it like that. Extrude it downwards. Extrude it inwards again, and then close it by merging it at the center. And now our problem on the edges here was fixed. This is our keyframe droid. Now I think I can move on to the rest, which is going to be done like this. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna select all of the half right there. Make sure that X-ray is on before selecting, so that everything in the bottom there is selected. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna try adding a mirror again. Put it at the top. I'm gonna uncheck X and just do the Z. And I want to like want to be able to fix that, so I'm gonna change the mirror object right here. I'm gonna add a cursor on the middle there. Shift S, cursor selected. I'm gonna put an empty. And just I don't have to rename that because we're not gonna need that anymore later. So I'm just gonna set the mirror object to empty so that it goes back like that. Now I'm going to apply this, and then I'm gonna remove the laser at the bottom here so that we have this one right there, which will attach our laser. Not laser, the rockets. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on this area first. This guy right here. Probably make it straighter and turn on X-ray. And what I'm planning to do is like copy this and make sure that this and this and this and that are the same. I'm just gonna copy this and put it right here and then connect the rest. So I'm gonna just do some edits here to make it look nice. So Keyframe Droid has those designs right there. Wait, are these connected? Yes, they are. We don't really need this empty anymore. I'm just gonna delete that, and I'm just gonna keep the proxy there so I can like look at the proxy on this and keep this scale so that I can keep the other parts like up to the scale. So I'm just gonna select this part right here, move it upwards deeper into the Keyframe Droid there, and then what else can I add here? Probably nothing else. Okay, I guess I'm gonna stick with that, and then just create a model like a different rocket that's not attached to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this over to the rest of the sides of the bottom part of our droid here. I'm gonna delete this. Let's see. Also this guys, I guess. Leaving just that. I'm gonna try it on the other side for now. Copy all of that. Cursor is already at the middle, so all I have to do is set the pivot point to 3D cursor. I'm gonna Shift D this RZ90, and that should bring it there. Now I'm going to close it by adding faces. So I'm just gonna turn off X-ray, select edges here, and then just merge these guys here. Create some faces between this. Gotta make sure that I'm selecting the right edges so that you don't make any stupid mistakes. Oops, I'm selecting edges on the other side, which is not good if I made a face with that. So I'm just gonna merge this with this edge right here, that one right there, and then this one and this one, that one, and the last one right here, like that and like that. Not G again. And now we have an equal, a perfect duplicate of that. And I'm also gonna do it at the back here. I'm gonna turn on X-ray and set this to vertex select, and then I'm gonna select all of this, delete all that, select this, Shift D RZ90, and then do the same thing. So yeah, we're done copying all of the bottom parts right there. I'm just gonna check, see if it looks great, and I think it does. Okay, I guess it's time to make the rockets. So for the rocket, I'm gonna select this part right here. I'm gonna select this edge loop right about there. Shift S, cursor to selected, and then I'm gonna add a UV sphere right here. I'm gonna set the segments to 12 and the rings to 8, and then I'm just gonna delete this bottom part right here, vertex. I guess that works nice. So the cursor is still our pivot point, so I'm just gonna wait a minute, did I? Oh great. Okay, I ended up creating a different object, which is something that I don't want to do. I just want the whole droid to be one object. So what I'm gonna do to fix that is I'm just gonna select the sphere first, and then the Keyframe Droid, and then Control J to make them join together, and then also shade smooth. And that should fix the problem. We have our rockets here. Just gonna have it facing down like that so I can properly edit it. So right now I'm going to hide this. or maybe select all of that and then Control I, and then I'm gonna hide all of that. So I want to focus on the rocket here. So yeah, how else can I make this awesome? I'm probably gonna do this, cursor to selected, and select everything, E to extrude, and then S so that it extrudes towards that cursor right there, because we still have our cursor set to be the pivot point. That should give us that shape, and I think that's already looking great. I don't want to make it too complicated so that it complements with the rest of the design of the Journey to Awesomeness elements, which doesn't exactly have that much design on them. So I think I'm gonna settle with this kind of a rocket design here. I'm gonna try scaling that up. I'm gonna go back to the median point as the pivot point and then scale it up. Alt H on edit mode so that we can bring our keyframe droid back. And I'm just gonna scale this up some, because that will be rotating there. It will be rigged so that it rotates. Will rotate like that as it, as the keyframe droid navigates itself. So I think this is done for our keyframe droid. I'm gonna just scale it up a bit because it looks so small. Bring it out some. Okay, bring it out a bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna settle with that, and I'm just gonna duplicate that so that it goes around here. One for each of the sockets there. So I'm gonna put the cursor on the middle of our keyframe droid here. Cursor to selected. I selected the edge loop around the middle part right there to put the cursor on the middle. Our keyframe droid, set the cursor to be the pivot point again. I'm gonna Control L that to copy all of that. I'm gonna go Control numpad 7. Gonna look at the bottom. I'm gonna Shift D R90. And then to make it easier, just gonna select that, Shift D R180. And there we go. We have our keyframe droid. Yeah, it'll be zooming around in the production caverns in sequence 005, trying to shoot me. And then I'm going to destroy it with a lightsaber, and that's gonna be one of the challenges that I'll be facing in the future, to slice it in half with a lightsaber. So yeah, I think I'm gonna settle with this. I don't want it to be too complicated, because then I'd have to add more vertices, and then it's gonna end up being really heavy for the computer. So yeah, I think I'm gonna settle with this, and then I'm just gonna add more later on while I'm shading if there are stuff that I want to add in the model. But yeah, I guess this is part 1 of creating a keyframe droid in Blender, and the next part will be giving it a nice shading, or probably texture it. We'll see. So yeah, that's all I guess for now, and see you on the next part.